Hi again, everybody. It's time again for St. Ignatius Wildcat Volleyball, and a very pleasant good evening to you from McCullough Gymnasium, as tonight the Wildcats host the Archbishop Mitty Monarchs. George Devine with you courtside alongside Vicente Molina and Ronan Kramer. And Vicente talking about this match tonight. These two teams met before back on September the 11th. Mitty won by a final of 3-1, but it's not as lopsided as that sounds. Yeah,
George, you had to be there to really experience. It was a back-and-forth battle, always in the 20s, including the third set going to 27-25. But the key to the match for Mitty today will be for them to get out to an early lead in their sets, to mellow out this crowd, and then limit the amount of separation and big runs from the Wildcats today.
And Ronan, for the Wildcats trying to bounce back from that loss at Mitty, do you think playing at home here in familiar confines, and a big part of volleyball is looking up at the ceiling, will play a role?
Oh, absolutely. As we saw this past Thursday, the Wildcats lost in straight sets on Ellis Street at Sacred Heart Cathedral. Well, when they played each other here about a month ago, it went to the fifth set in a 15-13 final in the fifth set. Also, building off of what Vicente said, Mitty is 16-1 this season when they win the first set, but only 1-9 when they lose the first set.
Yeah, that makes a big difference how you start. And you talk about what went on last Thursday, Sacred Heart Cathedral now 8-0 in the WCAL, and a bunch of teams slugging it out for second place, fellas. SI at 5-3, St. Francis 4-4, Mitty's 4-4 in the league, and then Valley Christian at 2-6, and Presentation at 1-7. So this kind of fight for second place really speaks to the competitive balance of the WCAL.
Yeah, it's going to be a tune-up for the playoffs. It's going to be a very grit and grind match, as we expect how it was last year, this year in the playoffs. New cast of characters, but I believe the seniors really remember those losses to Mitty, and they want to get revenge back. Yeah,
last year Mitty finished second to the Monarchs in the WCAL, second in the Open Division, and second in the NorCal playoffs. Ronan, I don't think it's an understatement to say these teams are very familiar with each other.
Oh, absolutely. When you play, obviously you play twice a year in the WCL schedule, and then when you meet later on the postseasons in NorCal and CCS, you get familiar with the team. You know their tendencies. You know when they break. So it'll be interesting to see how they balance off each other tonight.
And then one other thing to think about, fellas, is that during the off-season for the high school teams, these young ladies play on the club circuit, and you might play 4 or 5 times a year, Mitty versus St. Ignatius, St. Francis versus Presentation, or whoever it is in the WCAL. But there might be 4 or 5 other meetings that we don't even know about.
Oh, yeah. They're like club ball. It doesn't matter what sport. Once you get those tendencies, you get to, break. You get to prepare more. You feel more influenced by their own game, and you just feel more confident as a player overall.
Well, when we come back, we'll get you the starting lineups. We'll take a look at this matchup a little more in depth. But right now, Sean Lohan had a chance to talk to the Wildcat captains earlier this week. Yeah, the senior year for the captains is starting to wind down. You'll hear more about this coming up. You're following SI Volleyball tonight on YouTube.
All right, I'm here with the 3 captains of the girls varsity volleyball team. So let's go down the line. Tell us about yourselves, how long you've been playing volleyball here at SI, and what position do you play?
I'm Megan Lucy. I've been playing volleyball at SI since freshman year, and I play outside.
I'm Emily McCarthy. I've also been playing volleyball here at SI since freshman year, and I'm a middle blocker.
I'm Lizzie Fleming, and I've also been playing volleyball at SI since freshman year, and I'm also a middle blocker.
So in the last 2 seasons, SI Volleyball has been on an amazing and historic run with appearances in the CCS Open Division Playoffs and NorCal Open Division Playoffs. What are your expectations and goals for this season?
Well, we've had such an amazing past few years, and the team is so strong this year again. So I just expect us to just play every game the best we can and do as well as we can, and just play with the same heart we've been playing with the past few years.
I think our goal is just to take it one game at a time, and especially to win the WCAL, because we haven't been able to do that in the past. So I think that's our first goal, and then to just continue trying to push that open division.
I agree with them, and also just another thing is that it all starts in practice, so we're going to keep working hard in preparation for all these games and hopefully come out on top this year.
So you had some enthusiastic home crowds last year at SI, especially in the game against Sacred Heart Cathedral. Why is volleyball so exciting to watch in person?
Volleyball is such a fast-paced game. There's so little off time, and watching people play volleyball and move so fluidly together, and it's just so exciting to just see it. It's so fast-paced. So much is happening all at the same time. It's really hard just not to be so excited to watch volleyball.
I think volleyball has a lot of passion, and you can definitely see that when you're watching the players on the court, and it's really easy to get excited in the crowd when someone gets a good kill or a good dig.
What WCAL teams are you looking forward to playing against, and why?
I think Mitty is going to be a big game for us. We've been trying to beat them for years, and it's never been a blowout. It's always been so close. We've always been right there within 2 points. So I think this is like finally the year.
So what do you do at SI besides play volleyball?
I run a club for human trafficking awareness called Break Free, and I'm also part of Insignis.
I also have a club called the Wild Heart Club that raises awareness for elephant conservation, and I'm part of Insignis and the Service Club here.
I'm part of Ambassadors Club, which works with prospect students.
Tell me something about one of your teammates that surprises or inspires you.
One of my teammates, Maggie Doyle, who's a middle, she's a junior. She's just one of the happiest people I've ever met. She's one of the most supportive teammates I've ever had, always cheering, always loud on the bench. She's 100% herself all the time and always there to cheer you on, no matter if she's playing or if she's sitting.
So I think one of the hardest working players on our team is Sierra Tyson, who is our setter, and she runs a 5-1, which means she never really gets a break. She never really complains about that, and she always works hard and doesn't really get a lot of credit, so I would honor her and her hard work.
One of the teammates that inspires me is Ellie. She tore her ACL last season, and she's just jumped back from it, and she works hard every single day at practice and in all the games.
So describe SI Volleyball in a few words or in a sentence.
I'd say SI Volleyball is a community. We have such great chemistry. We always have had such great chemistry, and it's so great to have 17 other girls there to support you on and off the court.
And welcome back to the SI Sports Network. Let's join public address announcer Bob Javinsky for our pregame ceremonies.
We ask that you remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
And we're almost all set to go. The Archbishop Mitty Monarchs, the St. Ignatius Wildcats. Let's take a look at the overall marks for both squads. The Monarchs 18-11. They've won 2 straight matches. 4-4 in the WCAL, and for St. Ignatius, the Wildcats trying to bounce back from a loss this weekend at a tournament in Southern California. 5-3 and 23-10. And fellas, we'll bring you back in here, but a tough loss last week for the Wildcats over at Sacred Heart Cathedral. And really, as we mentioned it, and you both hit this point really well, it's time to get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, it's time. We need to get in the groove. No need for faults here. You got to be on top of your game. I mean, if you do fault a little bit, you got to regroup and get it going, because these can't happen in playoffs. Simple miscues can't happen.
You know, talking, Ronan, about the success of SI volleyball the last couple of years, if you're going to measure yourself against a program, Archbishop Mitty is the program to look at. National champions 2008, 2009, 2012, 2013, 14, 15, and 16. And last year, a state champion. Not a bad mark for head coach Brett Allman-Caesar.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Mitty has a great program down there in San Jose. And, I mean, the Wildcats have always been on the doorstep of the CCS and even of NorCal last year, and Mitty has closed the door on them.
You know, it's really funny, fellas. In this league, the West Catholic Athletic League, you've got some great volleyball traditions. And if you're one of the middle-of-the-pack teams historically, which is what SI has been, you probably take yourself, go to any other league, not just in Northern California, maybe across the country, and you're a champion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Vincente.
All right. Just like you're saying, if you're the best, you want to play the best. So, you know, essentially they're a semi-big fish in a big pond instead of a big fish in a small pond, if you get what I'm going for.
I know exactly what you're going for. It's not a, you know, it's not a fish tank. It's more like a giant aquarium, like the big 1 million-gallon tank down in Monterey with a bunch of orcas inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder, support St.Ignatius Volleyball. There is a bake sale going on out in the lobby for another half hour.
And so Mitty wearing the black, as you can see him on the left of your screen. St. Ignatius still in its huddle wearing the blue. So you can call this a black and blue affair if you want.
Yeah.
Monarchs on the front line with Julia Cabri and Ellen Ferguson. Ellen, a 6'1 junior, number 5 of the WCAL in total kills with 162. They'll be on the outside for Mitty. Elizabeth Fleming, who's headed to Duke, up front for the Wildcats. She'll take care of the middle.
Yeah, Elizabeth Fleming standing at 6'2", the tallest player on the court right now.
Sarah Tyson on the near side, and SI to get it going serving. Megan Yu to put it in play, the starting libero tonight for the Wildcats. And that is out for Megan Ahern, point Wildcats.
Good start for the Cats. Let's see if they can get something going on the offensive side.
That's a tough ball to stay away from if you're on the back line, Ronan.
Absolutely. You might be tempted, but that's just good discipline.
Always tough to gauge those. Mitty gets the dink in right over the top.
Yeah, good kill right there.
From Cabri, the 5'11 junior. Mitty's got good size.
Yeah, far greater size than the SI team right now.
Yeah, Mitty currently has rosters 5 players over 6 feet tall.
Yeah, I think an interesting note on Mitty is that they lost 3 key starters from a state champion a year ago. Kelly Lee to serve from the far side for the Wildcats. And Cabri there for the Mitty point. We're tied at 2 in this game 1, best of 5. A lot of matches go 5 in the West Catholic League. Megan Ahern. Ahern, a nice dig right there. Far side action for Mitty. Wildcats try to go up front with Fleming. Great recovery for SI by Ferraro. And a point for the Monarchs, but Ferraro right there doing a great job keeping it alive.
About to say, Ferraro on every hit back, she was active on the side right there, like she is right there.
Communication is so important. Amy Ferguson creating some trouble up front.
Monarchs out in rotation. Point Wildcats.
Wildcats score the point.
Wildcats really caught a break there.
Mackenzie Honey is back to serve. I think she likes this spot. Tough one to play there off the net. And a nice little dump in there by Megan Lucy, one of the Wildcat captains, who's going to Washington University next year.
Yeah, you see a lot of that tonight.
Tremendous effort by Megan Ahern on Mitty to keep that alive, keep that point alive.
Wildcats lead at 4-3. Again, there's Lucy. Nice job player to the block by Mitty. Point Wildcats. Fleming with the block. But I think you have to tip your cap to Katie Springs the way she played that for Mitty.
Yeah, SI is really active on the floor tonight, but Mitty's kind of stagnant right now, and it's kind of working to their advantage.
Yeah, when you have size up front, a lot of things just roll your way.
And that is long. 6-4. Monarchs serving but trail it. Cabri back to serve.
That ball hit the ceiling.
Still in play.
That was very good communication between Sierra Tyson and Lizzie Fleming there to set it up.
Lizzie Fleming back to serve.
Pretty an interesting formation. Only 2 players up front right now.
And right off the block, Fleming and Honey tearing things up.
Yeah, I want to see what the exit velocity on that hit was. That was pretty fast.
You'll always get that from a baseball guy.
Yeah.
Serve is short. You know, those things are nothing new. The ball was going fast back before they had all this technology to tell you how fast.
Yeah, just more aware of it now.
StatCast has changed the game.
Or changed how we watch it, depending on how you look at it. Ferguson sending that one over. Great job there from the back row for the Monarchs from Megan Ahern. Tatum Korb was one of the top assist distributors in the WCAL to serve. Brady's had some good serving this year as well. Korb digging that one out. On the near side for Ellen Ferguson.
Tremendous
SI's point.
Tremendous play by that captain, Megan Lucy, right there.
So Sierra Tyson back for the Cats to serve. Tyson, a senior. Cats read that well. Anybody's ball. Great job by Robinson keeping alive for Mitty. Tyson sneaking that one over. SI returning Robinson's attempt. And there's a kill for the Cats.
That was very entertaining. Let's see if SI can build off of this, get a little motivation off that good volley there.
Great communication there.
Yeah.
And a great sense of hesitation and anticipation.
I know Sierra Tyson's not really getting the points right now, but she's grinding on the sets right now.
Well, Megan Lucy is a smart player. She always knows where to be.
Cats keep this alive. Lucy sending it back the Monarchs' way. Big dig there by Honey. Here's Lucy. Ferguson. Korb keeping it alive. Ferguson again into the block. SI getting a great job there from Emily McCarthy, one of the senior tri-captains this year.
Yeah, Mitty keeps going to Ferguson for the spikes right now, and she's not really making any noise.
10-7, the Wildcats lead game one. Remember, a little less than a month ago, Monarchs won it in 4. Down at the Brother Herman J. Fian Sports Complex in San Jose. Ferguson, too much on that.
Cats riding a 4-0 run right now, the largest run of any team so far in this game.
You know, we didn't really touch on that before the match, but how important a run's going to be tonight, you think?
Oh, they're going to be huge. Like what you said in the earlier game, it was back and forth, back and forth. If you get that separation, you get that little sense of doubt in the opposing team.
Kill for the Monarchs. Ahern. Lethal from the back row. Lauren Haniger's back to serve for Mitty. Lefty. And off the block and in for the point. Aaron Talon serving for the Wildcats. Too much to handle right there.
Yeah, beautiful. Put it where Megan Yu couldn't get it.
Ellen Ferguson serving. Her dad played basketball at Bellarmine and then at Loyola Marymount with Hank Gathers and Bo Kimball.
No wonder she's so tall.
Dad's about 6'9", 6'10".
Wow.
He was an assistant basketball coach at Bellarmine after his collegiate years. But he played for Paul Westhead. He's got some great stories.
I mean,
about Hank and Bo.
I guess there's no wonder why Mitty's going so. But no wonder why Mitty's always hurrying back up to the line.
Cabri keeping going. See, Robert Braunstein's here tonight from the Cal High Sports Show. And Amy Ferguson sneaking that one in.
Yeah, Ferguson is right when I said now she's starting to cook a little bit.
A sister act, a senior and a junior. Ahern on the serve. Great job there from Megan Ronan. Ronan playing a lot bigger than 5'8" on that one.
Oh yeah, she went up there. No wonder she's got the WCAL lead in the long jump.
Yeah, Megan Ronan is an outstanding athlete. She qualified for the state championship meet for track as a freshman in the long jump.
Long jump's a tough event.
Oh, absolutely.
If you think about it, your feet have to hit that narrow board just perfectly. Great recovery there by Fleming. And Lucy denied. Mitty block coming from Korb.
Before you know it, George. Before you know it, you look at the scoreboard. Mitty's inching back right now. SI's got to stop it right now.
14-12. Lucy. And Wildcats. You know, when they met back in September, Mitty won game number 1, 25-21. Wildcats 25-22 in the second. And then Mitty to close it out, 27-25 and 25-22. And Ferguson with the kill. That's the younger sister, Emily, the freshman. Serve coming here from Tatum Korb. Nice little dink over. And Mitty called for 4 hits.
That was nice and deceptive by Sierra Tyson. Caught Mitty lacking on the off guard right there.
You have to wonder when Coach Almazan Cesar from Mitty will use his first timeout.
Well, I think in these matches, unless somebody goes on, let's say, a 5 or 6-0 run, you're saving them to, you're almost at a game point situation.
That's a very good point.
Cicely Morgashigi to serve. SI with a great block, and Mitty can't get it over. Well, seeing right there the experience of Megan Lucy and company up front, guys.
Yeah, and the bench loves it too. The bench is just up in it right now. I mean, compared to the Mitty bench, it's pretty stagnant.
Sometimes the toughest thing to do after a big play is get a clean serve off.
Yeah, you got to build off your momentum. If you do it just kind of kills it and you get away with it.
In this game, there's not a lot of separation between these two squads. Momentum might be the most valuable asset either of these teams has tonight.
And that is long for Ronan. Monarchs can tie game 1 right here.
Yeah.
Ouch! Megan Lucy. I think for Megan, that's a big point right there after a service error.
Yeah, good to see her bounce back.
I think one of the keys to this or any sport is having a very selective short-term memory.
Especially in a game as consequential as this.
Wildcats trying to run off their 3rd straight point. And the Monarchs get the point from Megan Ahern. Ellen Ferguson to serve. Great job there by Elizabeth Fleming attacking from the back. Kelly Lee will check in. She'll serve. Wildcats have been moving a lot of people in to serve, and I think that, plays up on the principle of having fresh legs under you when you serve.
Yeah, most definitely. You're not, I keep using this word, but stagnant. You got to be moving.
And that is wide for Julia Cabri. Point Wildcats, and now you're at that point where you take that timeout. If you're Archbishop Mitty, we'll take the timeout as well. Wildcats lead at 21-17 in game number 1. We're back with more after this. You're watching Wildcat Volleyball on the SI Sports Network, powered by YouTube.
I'm Kiana Ansari, SI Class of 2020, and I would like to invite you to the annual St. Ignatius Campus Exploration Day on Sunday, November 4th, 2018. This open house is a great way for middle school students and their families to explore the SI campus and speak directly with current SI students, SI faculty, SI coaches, SI club moderators, and SI staff. It's a great opportunity to learn about the academic, campus ministry, athletic, performing arts, community service, clubs, and financial aid offered at SI. No reservations are required. The SI Open House will be from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday, November 4th on the SI campus at 2001 37th Avenue in the Sunset District of San Francisco. For more information, log on to siprep.org and click on admissions. That's siprep.org and click on admissions. See you on November 4th.
Well, the officials didn't wait for us, but nobody scored while we were waiting. And that's a point from Mitty as it went long. And Megan Ahern will serve. If you watched the Bruce Mahoney football game or you were there the other night and you noticed there was a young man along the Wildcat sideline with a big flag and a service ace for Ahern. he was what's known as the red hat. The game could not start until he dropped that flag.
Interesting.
So television has a person called the red hat. And if you watch an NFL or a college football game, that person wears a bright orange vest and bright orange gloves. If the lights went out in the stadium, you could still see them. Because television waits for nobody. That's not the case with radio.
Oh, no.
So kind of recapping this match so far, pretty even affair. The Wildcats haven't led by more than 3, but Mitty has not gone away when the Wildcats look like they're going to make it a 4-0 run.
Yeah, Mitty's inching, climbing back. They're trying to get in. They got to get on a little run here.
Well, Ahern already has 1 ace in this sequence. Not going to get it there. Nice play by the Wildcats to dig that out. And Ferguson drops it in for the score.
Talk about momentum swings.
That's just a tough break for the Wildcats right there.
Very tough break.
Just a reminder, what's at stake here in the first set. Mitty is 16-1 when leading after the first set this season.
So a lot of momentum on the line.
That violation, point Wildcats.
So lucky break for the Wildcats. Megan Ahern just made one of the best plays so far tonight.
22, serving 21.
And that's short. And the Monarchs tied at 22.
Again, the WCAL is such a competitive conference. Short serves are very scarce in these games.
Julia Cabri to serve. Wildcats have to play it softly. And a point for the Wildcat, point for the Monarchs. Now SI is forced to call that timeout. We'll take the break as well. 23-22 Mitty. You're watching a Wildcat Volleyball on the SI Sports Network via YouTube.
St.Ignatius College Preparatory is a Catholic Jesuit school serving the San Francisco Bay Area since 1855. Through a rigorous and integrated program of academic, spiritual, and co-curricular activities, St. Ignatius challenges its students to lead lives of faith, integrity, and compassion. Students are enriched by a diverse and loving Christian community and are called to become lifelong learners who develop their individual talents for the greater glory of God. With a commitment to intellectual excellence, leadership, service, and justice, we strive to be men and women for and with others, responding courageously to the opportunities and challenges of our time. Courage to lead, passion to serve.
And so the Wildcats tie it up at 23 and then give up game point right there.
That's the 5th time it's happened in this set. Throughout the game, this really can't happen anymore, especially when you talk about tuning up for the playoffs.
Tatum Korb to serve for game 1 for Mitty. And the Cats make it 24-24. Remember, you got to win by 2. So Sierra Tyson's back to serve for St. Ignatius. Far side, McDonald. Near side, Ferguson. SI in a whole heap of trouble.
SI is going to have to bear down here.
Sierra Tyson made a couple nice plays there. She is definitely playing taller.
Laura Shige to serve on game point. Second game point for the Monarchs here in set number 1. That's in for a point. What a thriller we've got here in match set number 1.
This is an indication of what's to come. This might be one of the closest games so far on the WCAL slate.
That might have been out, but Mitty playing it cautiously. Ferguson. And point Monarchs.
Point Monarchs.
26-25. Lauren Hanniger, the libero, back to serve. And that is wide. And the Monarchs take set number 1 at 27-25. Well, thrilling action right there. We'll have more Wildcat volleyball coming right up. You're following the Wildcats this evening on the SI Sports Network, powered by YouTube.
Hello, I'm SI Performing Arts student Margaret Dresselhaus, class of 2020, and here's your Fall 2018 SI Performing Arts calendar. On October 10th and 11th in Wiegand Theater, it's the SI Playwright Festival. This year we will celebrate works that are based on true life stories. From November 8th to November 17th in Bannon Theater, we present our annual fall play, Laughter on the 23rd Floor, by Neil Simon. The play takes a comedic look at the backstage chaos of a 1950s TV show. On November 28th and 30th, it's the annual fall concert featuring the SI Orchestras and the Jazz Band in Bannon Theater. The orchestras will feature works by Beethoven, Brahms, Vivaldi, and also some innovative music from the current decade. On December 5th and 7th, it's the annual Winter Choral Concert featuring the SI Chamber Singers and the SI Choral Program. And also in December, from the 12th to the 14th in Wiegand Theater, the SI Dance Workshop presents its winter dance concert, A Million Dreams. For more information, additional performances, and tickets for all the events this fall, log on to siprep.org and click on Arts. That's siprep.org and click on Arts.
I'm Kiana Ansari, SI class of 2020, and I would like to invite you to the annual St. Ignatius Campus Exploration Day on Sunday, November 4th, 2018. This open house is a great way for middle school students and their families to explore the SI campus and speak directly with current SI students, SI faculty, SI coaches, SI club moderators, and SI staff. It's a great opportunity to learn about the academic, campus ministry, athletic, performing arts, community service, clubs, and financial aid offered at SI. No reservations are required. The SI Open House will be from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday, November 4th on the SI campus at 2001 37th Avenue in the Sunset District of San Francisco. For more information, log on to siprep.org and click on admissions. That's siprep.org and click on admissions. See you on November 4th.
Always exciting when you're that 7th or 8th grader shopping for a high school. You head to the different open houses and people are very kind to you, and you think, gee, this is great. They're really nice to me here. If I get in, will they be this nice to me for 4 years? And, you know, sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Yeah, I was once in that process, and looking back on it, it's not all candy and roses as you'd think.
I just went through the process of looking for an apartment. And it was, I would rather have looked for a high school again than an apartment.
Yeah. One day I'll face that dilemma.
Hopefully it'll be less of a share of your check than it is of mine. They're expensive. So Mitty won a thriller in set number 1, 27-25, and Ronan Talking about runs in that one, that key stat you had on Mitty.
Yes, Mitty, they are 16-1 when they win the first set and 1-9 when they lose the first set. So the Wildcats are hoping to hand them their second loss after winning the first set.
Although the set was kind of back, the first set was back and forth. SI seemed to be in control, and then at very last second, Mitty sneaks in and snatches it away from them.
Sometimes it's what championship programs do. They know how to close out a victory.
Yeah, and that's exactly what SI's got to do. They couldn't do it last year in the playoffs, and they got to do it tonight.
So the serve by Hanniger got us going. And the kill there by Ellen Ferguson. She's number 6 in the WCAL in kills with 162.
She's been kind of quiet tonight. That's kind of a scary thought.
And the Wildcats give up another point right there. Ronan, do you feel that any of the momentum from the end of match set number 1 is moving into set number 2?
Oh, absolutely. Mitty took the first 2 points, both on brilliant serves, and their bench is finally energized.
And that goes long for Megan Ronan. Are Ronan and Megan Ronan no relation?
No relation. Nope.
How about Ronan Farrow?
No relation.
Okay, no relation.
It's a good name.
So Mitty out to the 4-0 lead. And Hanniger still serving. Ahern over the top of the block. Little dink try for Untalan. Great block there for the Cats. Elizabeth Fleming extending.
Gives you a glimpse of why Lizzie Fleming's heading to Duke for volleyball.
I wonder what Cameron Indoor Stadium is like for a volleyball match. We know what it's like for basketball.
Yeah. I really do. That's a good question.
Wonder if the crazies come out.
Untalan to serve. More and more NCAA programs are playing volleyball in different venues than they play basketball in. Ellen Ferguson back to serve. Off the ceiling. And that's down for Cabri. Point to the Wildcats. You know, school, a lot of people around here know Gonzaga, which has built the brand new kennel, the McCarthy Center for basketball. It's not that new anymore. They've been in there a little more than a decade. They still play volleyball in the old kennel, the Martin Center, which makes this building, McCullough Gymnasium, look like Madison Square Garden. Point to the Monarchs. Megan Ahern back to serve. And there's a kill for the Wildcats for Fleming.
I feel like the Cats team feeds off the energy here, and more students are coming in the student section. We saw it against Sacred Heart. Student attendance really helps this team.
Returning McDonald's ball, swing play. Great job by the Wildcats keeping it alive. Hanniger has to play it out of the back. Lucy. Great denial by Mitty. McDonald. And she's into the net. You know what impresses me, fellas, is the student study area out in the lobby with the tables and the Wi-Fi, and you can work on your school assignments, do some studying, and then come over and enjoy the match.
You pretty much do everything here.
McDonald trying to sneak it over. Too hot to handle there. Great job by Cabri.
Point Monarchs.
Yeah, Mitty's getting a lot of velo on these hits right now.
7-4 Monarchs. They already lead the match 1-0. Point Wildcats.
You saw Sierra Tyson running across the floor right there. She made that whole point. Megan Lucy gets the credit, but it was all Sierra Tyson right there.
And we're seeing some very strong communication tonight for both teams.
Yeah.
Plays like that don't happen unless the players speak to each other. McDonald, that speaks volumes.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what defense you set up, you just can't stop that.
Mitty gets taller up front. Savini out. Ferguson back in. You swap 6-2 for 5-5. And there's an ace. You know, it was those aces, guys, that really got Mitty going in set number 1.
Yeah, it really was. SI is kind of like shooting themselves in the foot, I'd say, and they can't let this happen throughout the match.
And there's a kill for Lucy.
You're going to need to see more of that.
Nice run for the Wildcats here.
And Lucy into the net.
George, like we were talking about earlier in the first set, once you get that momentum, you gotta keep it on your side. You can't just let it die.
And you know, it's interesting. No team led by more than 3 points in set number 1, and right now Mitty's opened up a 4-point advantage. If it wasn't for Lucy digging out, I would have been 5. And that's long, and that'll close it down to a 3-point margin.
That's great discipline by the Cats not to try to go chase that when the ball was streaming out of bounds.
So Hughes serving. Ahern. And a touch up front, point Monarchs. Lauren Haniger to serve. Haniger family has had a huge impact at Mitty. Mitch Haniger, I don't know if it's a cousin or a brother, plays for the Seattle Mariners. WCAL is well represented in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, that's a pretty good bloodline right there.
Point Monarchs, 5-point margin. This is the biggest spread so far. Ferguson, a lot of time, sneaks it in there.
Yeah, these next couple points are huge for the Wildcats.
And we'll take a break. Wildcats down 6. We're back after this. You're watching SI Sports Network on YouTube. Here comes the serve from Haniger. And a block up there. Embry and Ferguson up there. Haniger serving off quite a run for the Monarchs. They've doubled up on the Wildcats here in set number 2. Haniger's got to play this out on a free ball. SI on the attack. And Fleming drops it in there.
It's a great point by the Wildcats. See if they can build off it with a run here.
You're not at the point yet in the match where you need to get that 5 or 6-0 run, but you're at that point where you can't give up 2 or 3 points in a row.
Exactly. You can't shoot yourself in the foot. You got to keep the pedal on the gas. Just keep it going.
You can still give a little ground.
Well, I feel like if the Cats get 2 or 3 points on this off of this momentum, they can really get back in the game.
Morishige sending that one over. Fleming bailing the Cats out. Good back row play by both teams. And the Wildcats can't finish it there. Ball just died unheld in the air.
Yeah, finish. We're going to hear that a lot tonight. You got to finish the sets and the volleys.
Ferguson back to serve. Four hits called. Wildcats will bring Lucy and Van Norman in. Van Norman to serve. 5'7" senior. 15-9, Monarchs lead it. And Ahern with the kill.
Right when the Cats get the glimmer of hope, Megan Ahern just in there to just shut the door.
And there's an ace. Ahern picking up where she left off at the net.
We talk about short serves being scarce in the WCAL. Talk about aces.
McDonald. And a touch up front, kill Wildcats. And Lucy making it happen. Lizzie Fleming back to serve. And Ferguson gets roofed by McCarthy. Emily McCarthy really stretching her 5'10" frame.
Yeah, we'll really see in the next couple of points here if the Cats can get back into this game, into the set.
And an ace for Fleming. You've got your ace serving if you're St. Ignatius. This is where you ought to make your run. McDonald can't sneak it over. Big block there from Mitty. Cabri. So Cabri to serve. Great job digging it out by Van Norman. McDonald to the near side. Tough ball to play for both sides, and point Monarchs.
Those last two sets kind of just shows you how the signs of a good team right there in Mitty, how they just came back and they weren't phased.
So Jen Curtin taking a timeout here, guys. I think this speaks to the way you feel the way this set is going.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm SI or Coach Curtin, maybe you take it off the foot off the gas pedal on this set. I don't know, but you're in dicey territory right now.
You need to come out urgent in these next couple points.
It's a fun time of the year in the Curtin family. Jen Curtin, a 2004 St. Ignatius grad. Her brother Joey is the head varsity basketball coach at Reardon. So family discussions right now. How's your team going? Well, we're almost in the playoffs. How is yours doing? Well, we're just starting practice. Everybody's undefeated right now in basketball. Everybody's in first place.
Yeah, everyone's first place. No one's losing. It's a pretty good year so far.
And their brother Danny is the one of the coordinators for Reardon's football team. So
yeah, he may not be willing to talk about their game this weekend. They went down to San Mateo and lost 50-6 to Sarah.
A lot of people have run into the Sarah meat grinder this year.
The Cats go down there in 2 weeks.
You're the clock operator at Sarah. You work about, I'd say, what, 3/4 of the ball game?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good work if you can get it. Maybe there's a table at the Vans in San Mateo for you. Get there a little earlier. And an ace.
Speaking of football, both these schools meet on the field this Saturday here in the Sunset.
Remember, the Off the Gridiron promotion is going on. You can get your tickets at siprep.org. That sounds like fun. They're going to have jumpy houses for the kids, Sean? Yeah, they're going to have jumpy houses.
Hopefully the Cats are jumping as well.
So Tyson to serve for St. Ignatius. The Wildcats still down 8, 21-13. And a big play up front for Tatum Korb. And Korb will drop back to serve. And a kill there for Lucy.
Lucy back to serve.
Lucy serving. Great job right there by McCarthy.
Talked about it earlier. McCarthy is playing much taller than her 5'10" height.
Lucy serving. And Ferguson sneaks it in there. I love how she came with the offhand.
Yeah. Ferguson got the point, but I want you to look at number 6 for the Monarchs, Lauren Haniger. She's just very communicative, bossing everywhere where to go in a good way, and it's just keeping everyone in good spirits on the Monarch side.
That's wide.
Ball goes wide.
Well, the Monarchs trying to take a 2-0 advantage in this best-of-5 match. Morishige in to serve. Wildcats need a big play. That's wide. So the Wildcats get a stay here. Mackenzie Honey in, and Megan Yu to serve, the 5'7" senior playing libero here in set number 2. Ferguson nearly off the ceiling. Mitty's got to play the free ball. Point Wildcats. Fleming gets the point. Well, we're seeing some of the most spirited and effective volleyball right now of the match from St. Ignatius.
Might be a little too late, though.
Yeah, that's the problem. You can only stand on the net. There you go. Ahern with the kill, and Mitty takes a 2-0 advantage. I was going to say, you can only stand on the precipice of elimination so long. So 25-17 in game 2. The Wildcats behind the Mini Monarchs. When we come back, more Wildcat volleyball coming your way on the SI Sports Network, powered by YouTube.
I'm Ann Strickers, SI Religious Studies teacher and JV Girls Golf coach, and here's your sports and spirituality moment. A new school year is underway. Thinking back to that first day of classes, I still get a little nervous, which I think is a good thing. The day largely feels, however, like a ritualized song and dance. Students walk into the classroom, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, wondering where they'll sit and which one of their friends or classmates are in the same course. I have my talking points. I do what I can to extend a warm and personal welcome, and I let them know a little bit about who I am and what we'll study. This year, I decided I wanted to leave them with but one hope and expectation for the course: to fail. If you're a parent, those words should be of major concern. If you're a student, that F word is an injustice. However, if you're an athlete, especially a golfer, maybe you have at least a small sense of where I'm coming from. Indeed, sports and spirituality have taught me the power and the good of my hope and expectation for the new school year. A lesson that is articulated best by a young man in an unlikely setting and in an unsuccessful place. Going the Extra Length, produced by CBS Sunday Morning, is a story about how we might become successful people. Their website states, quote, "The swim coach of Seguin High School in Arlington, Texas, says you can't overstate the underachievement of his school swim team. He measures success by his athletes not getting disqualified. So when Gerald Hodges, pretty good athlete who could not swim, joined up, it was because he couldn't bear not being good at something." Steve Hartman of CBS talked with Hodges about how he was able to measure success in the final lap. I hope you'll live by the words of Gerald this year. If I couldn't handle not being good at something, how could I consider myself to be a successful person? Gerald Hodges. Let me repeat that. If I couldn't handle not being good at something, how could I consider myself to be a successful person? I hope my students and my golfers learn how to handle not being good at something. I hope they find themselves failing, and when they do, I want them to work hard, listen to others, ask for help from their teachers, parents, coaches, and realize what they are made of to improve, get better, and grow stronger. Who knows where that can and will take them. Setting yourself up for failure is actually the key to success, especially if you can somehow master your weakness. That's your sports and spirituality moment. I'm Ann Strickers.
And welcome back to San Francisco McCullough Gymnasium and St. Ignatius College Prep. George Devine with you. I got two new faces in the booth. Ryan Margulis and Alex Hall joining us for Game 3. Well, fellas, your impressions of the first two sets, what did you think?
Well, I thought that SI did all right in the first set. I mean, it was very competitive, very close, but Mitty came up on top. It seemed like Mitty over time got better in the first set, but then in the second set, Mitty just took over. Everything went their way. Every single play just went their way.
Ryan, what did you see in the second set that was different with Mitty?
Well, I just saw Mitty really take over. There was a point that SI was coming back near the end of the half and end of the set, and it really looked that we could set a comeback, but Mitty just shut that down really quickly and just kept that 7-6 point lead.
Yeah, the Wildcats played their best volleyball when they faced being down 2-0. Sometimes that brings elimination, brings out the best.
I am surprised that the Wildcats don't have Lucy in, because that was the real dominant force that was bringing back the Wildcats in the second set.
Tyson gets us going. That's in for the kill. So Megan Ahern has been lethal this evening. Ellen Ferguson back to serve.
Ellen Ferguson serving.
And the lefty goes into the net. Savini will sub for Ferguson on the Mitty side. And Mackenzie Honey drops back for St. Ignatius. Ahern. A little confusion there for SI, but they get bailed out. And that's wide.
Crucial point for SI right there. Can get him back in the game.
And Lucy into the block. Cabri.
I think we're going to see Mitty here really take over like we saw in the second set.
Ahern has served a couple of aces tonight. Too much Elizabeth Fleming right there for Mitty. Well, the Wildcats with the same kind of energy we saw early on in set number 1.
Very aggressive.
And still very much in it.
Swing play, McDonald. Lucy with the kill.
Megan Lucy, point Wildcats.
Crowd getting a little into it. Fleming with the ace. Now the 3-point lead belongs to St. Ignatius.
Looks like the momentum is going to go SI's way right now. Let's see how they can keep up.
And one of you said Mitty was going to run away with this.
Yeah, I guess I was wrong.
I thought that hit the floor.
Close.
Tough ball to play off the ceiling. Actually saw that bend to ceiling panel. Point Monarchs. Cabri back to serve.
Megan Lucy, she is having a game during the second and third set. They are really leaning on her.
Lee back to serve. Claren Talon goes up front. McDonald with the kill. Ferguson in for Savini. Back to serve is Tatum Korb. And Robinson up front. Monarchs trying to pull within one. They already have the 2-0 advantage. Robinson, that's in for the kill. They're saying it's point SI.
Yeah, it looked quite close there. SI might get a lucky break there.
McDonald, that's a kill. Morishige coming in to serve. One of the defensive specialists for Archbishop Mitty. Ferguson.
Quite a rally here.
Great rally. Great block there by Robinson. Van Norman and Robinson dueling up at the net. Emily McCarthy's been playing well at the net too for St. Ignatius.
A lot of Mitty serves have been hitting the net this set.
8-7 Wildcats. That'll tie it at 8.
It seems like the net is taking a lot of prisoners today.
A lot.
You have to wonder as a match goes on, there's been a lot of long rallies in this match as legs tire out. Gets a little harder to serve. Cabri being denied a kill. Debris sending that one back over. Great job there by Fleming. Kelly Ferrero out on the floor right now. I understand her brother Andrew is following tonight's match. Former Wildcat place kicker. Had the winning field goal against St. Mary's Stockton in overtime a few years ago. He's kicking back at Amherst. Where I bet in about a week or two the leaves are going to be absolutely delightful to look at. Remember, winter doesn't start in New England until the Red Sox are eliminated. So it could be Indian summer for a while in the Commonwealth. And Ferguson blocked right there by Fleming. Red Sox have a 4-1 lead on the Yankees. Bottom of the 7th in the Bronx. The Yankees facing elimination tonight. Point for the Wildcats. They lead at 11-8.
Yes,
contact for Mitty.
Yes, but did you see the video of Aaron Judge after the first Red Sox game?
No, I did not.
He was blasting New York, New York in the Boston Stadium at the end.
Oh.
Not a lot of love in that rivalry. Wildcats hanging on to it. Free ball from Ferrero. Ferguson. Great job by Ferrero to keep it alive. Held keeping it going. Great job there by Fleming.
This is more first set Wildcats than our second set Wildcats, don't you think?
Fleming elevating and closing. The Wildcats open up their biggest set lead of the night at 5. Remember, we went pretty deep into set number 2 before Mitty went +4. Nobody went more than ahead by 3 in the first. Oh, Fleming couldn't finish that block. Great job by Mitty keeping it alive. Far side, Ahern. Dug out by Held. Point Wildcats. Fleming again.
It looks like it's going to go SI's way in this game here.
I was very much wrong about the Mitty taking it away.
And Mitty now taking a timeout. Wildcats up 6, 14-8 in Game 3. You're following the Wildcats on the SI Sports Network, powered by YouTube. And back here at McCullough Gymnasium in San Francisco, St. Ignatius trying to stay alive in this match after dropping the first two, 27-25 and 25-17. The Wildcats lead here by 6 points, 14-8.
And SI really has all of the momentum going into this.
And Clarence Talon gets the service ace and the point. that goes wide. Point for the Wildcats. They've doubled up on Mitty at 16-8.
The reverse of what we saw in the second set.
So McDonald and Lux come in for the Monarchs. Morishige, one of those who sat down, along with Robinson. McDonald. Cats have to dig this out. Great save. Another great dig by Ferrero. That's in for the point.
Just adding to SI's momentum. They just keep going and going. They're really not letting Mitty get any points here and not letting them get back into the game.
Kelly Lee to serve. Great block by Fleming. McDonald has been tough tonight. And one of the few times this evening she's been denied. Mitty brings in Morishige for defense in the back row. Lee continues to serve. Wildcats up 10 here in set number 2. And the cross kill, no! It's wide, point Wildcats.
Mitty can just not get anything to go their way, it seems, in this set.
And Lee has been serving for a really long time, just keeping that rock-solid SI lead.
And you're at the point right now for Mitty where you need a run. Because if you exchange points from here on out, another point for SI, Wildcats are going to win set number 2. So Ryan Savini to serve from Mitty. Into the roof. And kill Wildcats. Elizabeth held.
SI is really dominating this set.
Mackenzie Honey subs in to serve. It's been a dominant set number 2 for St. Ignatius. Point Wildcats on the Fleming block. Yeah, if you're Mitty, you just need to get some really, really fast and consistent momentum. Service errors always help when you're trying to come back. Wildcats lead at 21-10.
Let's see if Mitty can do anything with this opportunity here.
Megan Lux to serve. And you can't give them up when you're down by 9 or 11. Lizzie Fleming back to serve. Wildcats trying to close out set 2. Set 3, I should say. Little mix-up. And point to the Wildcats.
I think Mitty just wants to get out of the set here as fast as possible now.
And the Monarchs take their second and final timeout. We're back with the finish of set number 3 on the SI Sports Network, powered by YouTube. So Fleming still serving for St. Ignatius. That's long. Well, Mitty accomplished part of what you want that timeout to do, and that's stop momentum. Cabri, and Lucy with the kill.
Wildcats. Set point.
Set point.
24-11.
Sierra Tyson. Lucy for the set. And points, Monarchs.
That point was really given up because it was a miscommunication between those two players.
Korb to serve. And that goes wide, and the Wildcats take set number 2. Can SI finish the comeback? We'll find out. Set number 4 is on tap. Mitty still leads at 2-1. You're following Wildcat Volleyball this evening on the SI Sports Network, brought to you by YouTube.
I'm Kiana Ansari, SI Class of 2020, and I would like to invite you to the annual St. Ignatius Campus Exploration Day on Sunday, November 4th, 2018. This open house is a great way for middle school students and their families to explore the SI campus and speak directly with current SI students, SI faculty, SI coaches, SI club moderators, and SI staff. It's a great opportunity to learn about the academic, campus ministry, athletic, performing arts, community service, clubs, and financial aid offered at SI. No reservations are required. The SI Open House will be from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday, November 4th on the SI campus at 2001 37th Avenue in the Sunset District of San Francisco. For more information, log on to siprep.org and click on admissions. That's siprep.org and click on admissions. See you on November 4th.
Steve Laveroni, Class 69 from the SI Alumni Office here. This fall, we have a number of fun events for alumni, parents, and friends. Our fall lineup is full of class reunions that start with the class of 1958 and continue with reunions for the years 1963, 1978, 1983, 1988, 1993, 1998, 2003, and 2008. Check the alumni page of the SI website for details. Saturday, October 13th is the date for a brand new event called Off the Gridiron. This is a family-friendly fest with kids' games, food trucks, a beer wine garden, and a ticket to the SI Mitty football game. The afternoon festivities provide a great setting for SI alumni, parents, and families on our campus practice field. We hope to see you there. November is the month for the greatest SI Alumni Award with the Christ the King Award. This year's recipient is John Dugan of the class of 1959. John has been a terrific supporter of SI in many ways and is well known for his family's success with the Original Joe's restaurants. Join us in congratulating John. December is the month for Christmas lunches and dinners. More than 15 classes meet to socialize and celebrate the holidays. For more information about these and other events, go to siprep.org and click on Alumni. That is siprep.org and click on Alumni. Go Cats!
Someone once said, if opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. If opportunities don't present themselves, we tell our students to get the tools to make their own door. This advice reflects what we do at SI in the classroom, in the chapel, and in the sporting arena. We challenge our student athletes to work hard and share their talents and seize opportunities. Your generous support over the years has provided many opportunities for our athletes, including Fairmont Field and Pacifica, the new press box, and elevated stands on J.B. Murphy Field, plus countless equipment and uniforms for our 26 programs, 66 teams, and over 1,000 student athletes, and so much more. Your donation to the SI Athletic Program will continue to offer our student athletes the best experiences and opportunities to compete today and succeed tomorrow. You can help show your support by purchasing an SI Sponsor Pass. All pass holders get free admission to SI home games and to the Bruce Mahoney football and basketball games at Kezar and USF. A single-person pass is $60, a two-person pass is $100, and a gold sponsor pass is $175. If you wish to support our student athletes by purchasing a year-long sponsor pass, go to siprep.org/goldpass. That's siprep.org/goldpass. I'm SI Director of Athletics John Mulcairns, SI Class of '89. Go Cats!
And back here in San Francisco, Mitty leads it 2-1. St. Ignatius coming back in the third set, winning 25-17. Mitty won the opener 27-25, and then 25-17. So let's see if Mitty can pick up where it left off in set 2, or if SI can carry that set 3 momentum through set 4 and force a fifth and deciding session on this Tuesday night.
In the third set, Mitty really did not allow themselves to get any momentum by just the mistakes with the net, like the one we just saw, or just not being able to return SI's very strong spikes.
Lauren Hanniger into the net. And Kelly Lee, who had some big serves against Valley Christian in a 5-set victory last week, drops back to serve. Korb setting it up front. The Cabri. Point Monarchs. Owen Ferguson back to serve. Point Wildcats. So Lizzie Fleming. And Mackenzie Honey's back to serve. Wildcats the 2-0 lead. Ahern. That's wide. Point Monarchs.
Seems like it would be a really close fourth set here.
Ahern's back to serve. McDonald's up front for Mitty. Cabri goes long. And Fleming is back to serve. Point Monarchs. Brianna Robinson sweeps in back up front for Mitty. Cabri back to serve.
A lot of back and forth right now. No one's getting any momentum.
Lucy sending that over. Korb trying to sneak one in. Here's Korb from McDonald into the block. Cabri kept it alive. Like that Robinson with the Monarch point. Crowd starting to get into it. Robinson. Point Monarchs. And you kind of get the feeling here Mitty's getting a run going, guys.
Maybe something similar to what we saw in the second set.
This is for Lucy. Into a roof. McDonald gets another shot at it. He's there for the kill.
Now, if SI wants to stay in this game, they really got to stop this really long run from Mitty.
Cabri been serving a while. McDonald. Kolb setting it for McDonald. And that is wide.
Point Wildcats.
Wildcat points, 6-4.
Sierra Tyson
Sierra Tyson is back to serve. Hanniger keeping it alive. McDonald. And the point, Mitty. Jen Curtin, the SI coach, slamming the ball down in disgust on that last call.
It's a very close call there.
Point Wildcats, thanks to Lucy.
Lucy is going to be playing volleyball at Washington University in St. Louis very soon.
McDonald. Lucy keeps it alive for the Cats. Big block right there by Ferguson and Robinson. Morishige in to serve. That's in for the kill. Lucy.
SI is in striking distance to try to take control of the game and try to get that lead.
Megan Hughes serving. And Mitty keeping it alive, but Held is going to get the kill. Wildcats trying to tie it here. Far side for Held, and we're tied at 8.
Well, we really thought Mitty was going to come away with that until SI tied it up.
Well, right now this is feeling like set number 1. Hanniger doing a great job to dig it out for Mitty. And the kill for Untalan. Lee serving. Ahern. That's wide.
Ball goes wide.
Wildcats take a 2-point lead at 10-8. Too hot to handle there. Ferguson on the free ball. And Fleming up front.
SI is taking control right now. It seems like everything's going their way. Just have to make sure that they can power through the set.
With the 3-point edge in the set, but down 2-1 in the match. Little mix-up there. Mitty hesitated and paid for it, fellas. And the Monarchs take the timeout. We'll take it too. Wildcats the 12-8 lead in match set number 4. Back after this on the SI Sports Network, powered by YouTube. George Devine back here. Ryan Margolis and Alex Hall. Set number 4. Mitty took the first two, 27-25 and 25-17. St. Ignatius roared back in the third. 25-14, another point for the Wildcats.
SI picking up right where they left off before that timeout.
Big match in the West Catholic League. These teams are trying to jockey for second place. And Ferguson goes long. And another Wildcat point.
That ball barely going over the net.
Monarchs in a hole. All of a sudden, the hole gets deeper thanks to Fleming and Untelen.
SI with this 8-point lead.
A surge for St. Ignatius. Almost too much Fleming right there. Hanniger, a great dig. Big roof there by Mitty. Big points for the Monarchs. Robinson and Ferguson sealing up the front line.
It's going to be tough to see if Mitty can dig out of this hole right now.
Hanniger serving. Fleming does it again.
SI digs that shovel in the dirt. It seems like they can't get out.
Kelly Lee back to serve. An ace. Great job there by Cabri. Ferguson's back to serve. Mentioned earlier, her dad played basketball at Bellarmine, class of 85. Class of 89 at Loyola Marymount, played for the Lions in that run and gun team. Speaking of running and gunning, that's rifled over by Fleming. 19-10 Wildcats. Mackenzie Honey is back to serve.
This is the biggest lead. SI looking to increase the biggest lead of the game.
And that's in for the point. Thanks to Megan Lux. McDonald back for the Monarchs. They're also going to bring Ahern back up front. Ahern will serve. And too much Cabri.
Julia Cabri, point Monarchs.
That's in for the kill from Megan Lucy.
Lucy possibly being the MVP for SI for this game.
Elizabeth Fleming might have something to say about that as she serves.
Maybe
and serves an ace. 21-12. Could this be headed to a fifth set? McDonald. And SI's into the net. 21-13.
Point Monarchs.
Robinson back in up front for Mitty. Cabri to serve. Here's McDonald. And the Wildcats benefiting from the play of Emily McCarthy. McCarthy has been the ace in the hole up front tonight, fellas.
Great defense by SI right there. Mitty trying to get his point off there, but just couldn't.
SI looking to close out the set.
Tyson to serve it. And an ace. And timeout, Mitty. Brett Almazan Caesar, the head coach of the Monarchs, saying, I want to talk about this 2013 Wildcats running away with their second set in a row. You're watching SI Sports Network on YouTube. Tyson back to serve for the Wildcats. Kolb, Ahern, Lucy. Great perseverance by Mitty. Lucy again with the kill. And Mitty pushed the brink here in set number 4. St. Ignatius trying to make it 2 straight sets and force a 5th. Tyson serving. McCarthy up front. McDonald sending that to the net. For Lucy. McDonald. Lucy, all hers. Here's Lucy again. And that is wide.
SI trying to hold out and try to get that set 1.
And Mitty's just trying to hold in with these rallies.
SI called for double contact. The brink is still there for Mitty. Kolb serving. McDonald. Yu keeping it alive. Robinson, Yu. Lucy in there for the kill, and the Wildcats take back-to-back sets. They take number 4, 25-15, coming up the 5th and the deciding set. And we've got Vicente and Ronan coming back, thanks to Ryan Margulis and Alex Hall for joining us the last 2 sets. Wildcat fans will find out if they were the lucky combination when we come back. We're looking forward to seeing you back here on the SI Sports Network, powered by YouTube.
Did you know that St. Ignatius has 66 teams in 15 sports? and close to 100 clubs and performing arts activities for students. Some of these activities include dance, drama, choral, orchestra, video production, and finance. Our yearbook, The Ignatian, started in 1910, and our student newspaper dates back to 1920. Did you know that the average class size at SI is 25 students, with more than half of our entire student body being students of color? Did you know that affinity clubs like the Black Students Union, the Association of Latin American Students, and the Asian Students Coalition have been part of SI for 5 decades? Did you know that SI has students from 7 Bay Area counties with over 100 grammar schools represented in each class? SI is in the top 1% in the nation in advanced placement exams taken, with the pass rate 20% higher than the global average. On the SATs, SI students' average scores are 254 points higher than the national average. Did you know that 93% of SI students participate in the Spiritual Retreat program? And the class of 2017 averaged over 160 hours of community service for each student. This year, we will distribute $4.3 million to 22% of SI students, with the average financial aid grant being $13,400. Did you know that the Father Sauer Academy is our new tuition-free middle school that serves students of all faiths from low-income families? Did you know SI's Girls Who Code Club and the robotics team are helping prepare students for today's workforce, and that these clubs are mentored by adults and SI alumni currently working in tech? Did you know upon graduating from SI, the members of the class of 2017 were awarded $27.9 million in college scholarships? I'm SI teacher, volleyball coach, and former Modges student Jen Curtin, SI class of 2004. To learn more about St. Ignatius, log on to siprep.org and click About Us. That's siprep.org and click About Us.
And back here in San Francisco, George Devine with you courtside. Vicente Molina, Ronan Kramer back in the booth with us. Well, fellas, you were here. Mitty won the first 2 sets. Very exciting 27-25, then kind of a ho-hum 25-17, and then you stepped away. The Wildcats roared back. What did you see as the difference in sets 3 and 4?
The captains for the Cats, Megan Lucy and Lizzie Fleming, just really taking over the reins and getting kills here, and the crowd is really into it right now, as you can see.
And again, we talk so much about momentum in this sport. The Cats got off to an early start in the 3rd set and just rode that momentum to where we are now. They've had so much more energy than they did at the end of the 2nd set.
For the Wildcats and the Monarchs, push to a 3rd set. Number 15 wins the 5th set. And momentum has not been Mitty's friend the last 2 sets. SI has jumped out as they move up the scoreboard. It's not jumping out when it's, let's say, 15-13. It's jumping out, let's say, when it's 7-6 or 7-5. Megan Yu gets it going. McDonald from the back. SI double with a net violation.
Just a reminder for the folks at home, in the 5th set we played at 15 points instead of the normal 25.
So momentum becomes a lot more crucial. McDonald. For both these teams expecting to have long playoff runs through the Central Coast section in NorCal. And there's Fleming.
Yes, according to the latest Max Peps rankings, the Cats are 5th overall in the CCS, and Mitty is 6th.
And this final set's going to show if these teams are very championship caliber. Can SI come back from adversity and win this, or can Mitty finally close this out?
And last year they met each other in the Open Division of both the CCS and NorCal. Mitty winning the NorCal and state titles last year in the Open Division. Mitty volleyball tradition basically goes back a quarter century. Kerry Walsh Jennings, the great Olympic beach volleyball star, was a great two-star athlete back in the mid-90s at Mitty. Ferguson with the left hand. SI plays it out of the ceiling. Ahern in for the kill. Mitty out to the 3-1 lead. Morishige. With the ace.
Everything going Mitty's way early in this first and the last set.
I think right here, what's your threshold for calling a timeout if you're Jen Curtin?
I would say 5-point differential.
Morishige keeping that one alive. Ferguson. And double contact for Mitty. Lucy and Honey will come back for the Cats. Ferrero and Held leave. Lucy. Kolb keeping that alive. Korb again. Great job there by Fleming with the block attempt, but Ferguson will get the kill. Monarchs go ahead 5-2. Ferguson, too wide.
Ball goes wide. Point Wildcats. Lizzie Fleming back to serve.
Lizzie Fleming is back to serve. And Ahern with the kill.
I know Mitty was scuffling a little bit in the middle sets, but the one constant has always been Lauren Haniger. She's out there communicating, pepping up her teammates. She's exactly where the people are supposed to be in their spots, and it's showing right now.
Lauren Haniger, the libero, wearing the white. Point Mitty.
Although I said 5 points earlier, at this point I would say, well, there we go.
Well, you're halfway to a victory basically here if you're Mitty. Halfway in the set. By the way, if you're following baseball tonight, 4-1 Red Sox lead the Yankees in the top of the ninth. And winter could be starting in New York City in just a few minutes.
It's already started.
Chris Sale came out for the 8th inning, set down 3 straight batters, and Craig Kibble's coming out for the 9th for the Red Sox.
There was a time when you had to have special connections to get that information unless the game was televised right in front of you. And now everybody's got it in their pocket. (7-3), Monarchs lead it here in set number 5. Owen Ferguson is back to serve. Here's Lucy. And the Wildcats score out of the timeout.
What the Wildcats have been doing so well in the middle sets was keeping the momentum on their side. Let's see if they can keep it going. Don't die it down right now. No unforced error kill.
Sarah Tyson, who's had some strong rotations serving. And that's wide for Ahern.
Ball goes wide. Point Wildcats.
Tyson to serve. And Fleming with the kill. And Lucy in there too. This is almost evened up.
Oh yeah, it's anybody's ball game right now.
Tyson with the serve. Kill for Ahern. McDonald is back. Ahern to serve. Great dig out there by Ahern. McDonald. Little dink over by McCarthy. McCarthy again keeping it alive up front. And that is long.
It's crazy to think how much hung on that one rally right there. WCAL final standings, CCS seeding, all can just be determined by 1 point here.
Boy, the second season starting in a couple weeks for these young ladies, the playoffs. McCarthy trying to sneak it over. Lot on that one for Held. McDonald answers. Frustrating for Lucy.
I like the setup there.
Monarchs.
The setup was perfect, but Lucy just had to finish.
Cabri back to serve. McDonald, too much to handle.
We've seen that time and time. SI's having trouble handling the velocity of the spikes.
Cabri to serve. Over the block. Up our way. Big point for the Wildcats from Held. Robinson, point Monarchs. Korb to serve. Monarchs trying to close it out, trying to sweep the Wildcats on the season. They've played a couple of thrillers this year, and the block by McDonald. Point Wildcats as the block goes wide.
Kelly Lee back to serve.
Kelly Lee is back to serve. And McDonald denied. 11-10. SI serves for the tie. That's wide. Point for the Monarchs. Morris Shegate has served. Sisley has been on the line for some big serves tonight for Mitty. And timeout St. Ignatius. Fellas, what are the keys to close here? Ronan first for Mitty.
I believe Mitty just needs to keep playing the way they've played all night. They don't make many errors. They just play simple, basic volleyball. And if they just play their game, they have the 2-point advantage and the serve. They will win.
And Vicente for St. Ignatius.
For SI, just use what got you here. You got to rely on Lizzie Fleming and Megan Lucy. They've gotten you here. Megan, you as well. You need to count on them in these final crucial minutes, right? I mean, the final crucial points here. Get them as many opportunities as possible.
Morishike's serve. Fleming. Big dig by Hanniger. Ferguson with the left hand. Joust at the net. And held with the kill. So now it becomes a dire race to 13. Honey back to serve. Wildcats could tie it here. Off the top. Ferguson. Way too hard. Monarchs take a 13-11 lead. SI has one timeout remaining. And a big kill for Fleming.
When you think about point swings, that point was crucial. He's a 14-11 set and a 13-12 set are a lot more than just 1 point.
And there's a point for the Cats. The Monarchs take the timeout, fellas, and whoever scores next goes to match point.
Yeah, and I get the feeling it's going to be the Cats right now, but Mitty has always been good out of their timeouts lately. They usually come back and score. So let's see what they do here.
Yeah, I believe Mitty is the edge here. Again, just as Vicente said, Mitty out of a timeout. They are organized. They know exactly what they're doing.
And some of it comes down to experience in both these teams. Deep postseason runs last year. Monarchs a little deeper than the Wildcats. They beat them for the NorCal title. And Mitty winning a state championship last year. The rafters getting crowded down in San Jose with all their banners. And there's a big kill for Cabri. It's match point.
That's a crucial call in this game. That very well could cost the Cats a win.
Cabri. Cats on the edge. Lucy. Cabri. Right up for the block. And the Monarchs are going to take it. So the fifth set goes to Archbishop Mitty. The Monarchs take it 3 sets to 2. And Mitty takes the season series from St. Ignatius. But gentlemen, what an exciting evening of volleyball.
Yeah, if the first set was any indication we were stored in, it's a good night. Good night of volleyball. If I'm SI, I'm a little disappointed in the slow start. And if I'm Coach Curtin, we got to fix that in practice.
My takeaway is that the Cats need to find out the way to how to close out games, because they lost 15-13 in the fifth set at home against Sacred Heart Cathedral. And if they had taken both of these games, their CCS seeding likely looks different, and maybe even their final WCAL standing.
Well, we thank you all for joining us tonight. Great job tonight on the broadcast. Vicente Molina, Ronan Craner joining us for Cup 3 sets. Ryan Margolis and Alex Hall, our producer Sean Lahan, on behalf of the entire SI broadcast family. We're wishing you can join us for our next broadcast on the SI Sports Network on YouTube. It's Saturday, October 13th, 12:50 p.m. Pacific time. The Wildcats return home, and they'll face the Mitty Monarchs on the gridiron. Great match here tonight. Archbishop Mitty winning in 5 of the Wildcats for our entire team. George Devine saying see you again soon.